All right, happy Wednesday, everybody. It is April 10th, 2024, and we got our a major shot across the bow with the volatility today. So I want to make sure we look at as much as we can, but I need to do this pretty quick. Uh, got an early morning tomorrow. So if I didn't say it already, we're at precisealgorithmtrading.com, and let's dive in here to our automated trading systems, which the Dow is still doing what it's doing. It's down. The trades for today, on the 10th, were mostly negative. The Russell went down one tick today, one trade, and the Nasdaq continues to disappoint. But one of these days, this thing's going to rebound, I think, viciously. So uh, I'm holding on for dear life. And today, wow, there were a lot of trades. Look at that. Mostly negative. Couple decent little positive ones in there that give us some hope. And again, all the math is the same that got us to there. So, I mean, you go from 0 to 150K here with a, admittedly a major pullback, but I'm ready for the next trend up. All right, let's go to those are the automated trading systems. Let's look at the manual trading systems and the overall markets. And so you could see this coming yesterday. We had purple dots above, which means the daily trend has turned lower. We've got weekly dots below, which this week's not over yet, so you have to look back a week, which coincides with the 2 ATR stop, which is really just an indication of like where price tends to go. It's inside both, it goes in and out of the 2 ATR up and down. Sometimes it only makes it to the middle, especially like on a big downtrend like this. So pulling back here, yeah, if we only make it, if we get down here to the bottom, take out this stop maybe, and then we pull back up and only make it halfway, then I'm going to say we're probably due for lower prices. However, look at this stochastic down here. It's almost completely bottomed out. I think we're still in for another lower day. Tomorrow's Thursday, so we could get that even into the weekend. Um, but I think this move is going to be stunted down here pretty quick. And we're going to look at the other indexes for part of that. So we're in a downtrend with purple dots here, still above the weekly dots, which are the red ones. And we're almost bottomed out with the stochastic there. And I believe that low, 2027.90, beats that low at 2032.50. So this is a new lower. I mean, this is at least a megaphone pattern here. This went lower than this dot, and um, that is potentially a reversal in polarity, but not a very big one yet. And so that's the other thing. After you get a reversal like this, well, that's not a good example. After you get a reversal to the upside, you get a pullback. And if this is a real reversal to the downside, we're going to get a pullback before it rolls over and goes the other direction. Which at this point I'd say is the probability is higher. However, I mean anything's possible. We could hit the bottom of this thing could just reverse, and this could be our low. That could be our higher low, and we could just put in a higher low that's here instead of there, and your polarity would still be totally fine if this thing goes on to make new higher highs. All right, the Dow is the one that's really fallen out lately and changed really the trend. We've had this upper sloping channel, and now we've gone down for substantially now, and we've flipped on both time frames, and we are oversold on the stochastic and ready for a reversal right there at the 2 ATR, which is common. Back to the mean, and then we'll probably roll over from there. So back to the mean, if we look at the DOG, D-O-G, we can actually go long here, and this one hasn't actually taken out its weekly dots yet. That's an upper doji, like a hanging doji, that we could get a pullback here, or we could get higher prices and then a pullback. I'm really looking for a pullback to get short or long this and short the market, and I'm still not sold that that's exactly the right way to go, but all the things are in play for at least a short-term trade with that. The NASDAQ, I think we looked at this. We did not. You know, it's rolled over here, but again, looks pretty short-lived unless we get a major move and a pullback. The transportation index still really in the sideways pattern. USO bounced back today, which let's look at our ConocoPhillips. Our stops there. That thing's going to get stopped out any minute now, probably. It's a nice vertical move off the bottom. And let's look at gold. Again, it's been a nice move off the bottom. That's actually a down for the day, but that wouldn't have stopped out yet either. Flip over here to, I think this thing needs some work. This needs to be /yes. So we're looking at the markets along with the VIX. So we got our VIX pop back here, and we've pulled back in, and then we popped back out, we pulled back in, and now we're popping again. We're not back out of it yet, but we sure look like we'll see how this works. Now that price going back in on the Bollinger Bands within the last day or so, you know, typically that's a chance for the market to go higher. So, and that sometimes happens like it did over here. You get that sort of echo rally on the VIX, which is an echo pullback in the markets before you get a chance to go the other direction. So that's kind of possibly telling me, forecasting what I'm talking about. And these advanced decline lines have really fallen out. They were going down and falling out. Now, if I zoom in here to 1 day, which is just today, this is starting to look like a bottoming pattern. And these patterns just work just like really the other markets do. So I don't know how to say that we're out of the woods yet, but I could see us gap down from here in the morning, which means the markets will go lower and then rise out of that through the day. And if that happens, that is a head fake for the last day or so and a pretty bullish move. I'm not necessarily saying that's going to happen, but that'll help heal our bullish positions for sure. On a day like today, I mean, it's hard to take, but I do want to show you this, and I'm not going to show you everything, but these are our open option positions, and our stock positions, not all of them down here, they're generally still positive. And today was a rough day in the markets. We get back quite a bit of equity, but really the only ones that stopped out are the ones that you actually have to count, and that's these ones that lost, that don't have a stop anymore because they went to zero here, 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 here. And that's why you have stops. So literally, this is still open profit. We have bearish positions in play that gained on the day today, which are these negatives, by the way, negative deltas. And we have bullish positions that are still positive and have room to move, I think. So just want to show that. And the net deal here is that you have to be able to hold on through these market pullbacks with the idea that, let's look at ARKK for just to show we had a reversal that's happened here, and we're in a put position. We're actually got 3 of them going, and we're trailing this off of literally these dots all the way down. And when the thing stops back out again, we're either going to make money or we're going to break even at this point. And we've got weekly dots up here that are above, so that we got both time frames in alignment. And I'm not saying this one's even going to make money, but right now it's making money. And that is sometimes the way these are. This could bounce back because it's still got a lot of bullishness in it, or the volatility that just enough to kick it back up again. The market's job is to get you knocked out, and we could do that. But if this thing just falls, it's going to be, it's already starting to be an okay position. ADP is a recently set up put position. It's because these purple dots formed, even though they got reversed right there. I believe I'm short this thing. Let's double check that again. That's not true. I'm long that. Sorry. Long APA. It's these negative ones. AMD. Let's go look at AMD. So again, the dots are in alignment in both time frames, and this thing's been going down. And you have to, actually, I think I bought into this, bought puts when this thing pulled back up into here, and it's just rolled over since then. Sort of perfectly. And it's not like I'm not using market structure to do that as well. So that's the good and the bad about the way we trade. You get the meat of the move, you don't get the top and you don't get the bottom, and you've got to live through some of this. And anyways, I'll get off my soapbox and stop talking about it. Last thing, let's do this. Here's the big bullish percent index of the NYSE, and it's still over here. The same X's we've been looking at for a long time, even though it went down 2.33 points today. It takes 6%. That's 2.33, I believe, percent. It takes 6% to roll over to a new column of O's. Not saying that can't happen on this run, because it very well could. And bullish in here, and we're going to see what's happening as far as, this is literally an indication of buying versus selling, and that's all it is measuring. So now we've got in the industrials, we're minus 5% today, which means we have 63.33% of the stocks in the Dow Jones Industrials that are on a point and figure buy signal. 63.33% of the 30 stocks, that's how many are in the Dow, are on a point and figure buy signal. That's so the inverse of that is the ones that aren't on a point and figure buy signal, which I believe means that they have to be on a point and figure sell signal. The NYA here also rolled over 5.26%. The transports down 7.69%. The NASDAQ minus 3.26%. The S&P 500 tacked on a new O today to the downside, went down 5.03%. The OEX minus 1.52%. And finally, the NDX is sitting at that support level. Still went down 5.88% today. And boy, one of these days we could come right back with a big, big bullish day out of the blue, reversing all of that. And that's what I want, but there's no guarantee that could happen. So, but this thing is set up to do it. That's what this chart looks like. It could very well do. It's either going to do that and reverse and rip all the bears' faces off, or it's going to roll over and vindicate them. And I know that's like, what's that do for me as a trader? It's good to know those are my two things. If this thing was to start to take off tomorrow morning, then A, my account balance is just going to get better, and two, it's kind of telling me that there's still gas in the tank for potential upside in this market. If not, I'm going to keep watching the big bullish percent index for a rollover, and when these all match up, that's the time to really either go to cash or get short in a lot of things. So that's my analysis for tonight. Hope everybody is holding on tight and is surviving the storm, because that's really all this is. Until next time, take care, good trading, and have a great night.